Unafraid Show, Reister or Wrong. George Reister here, coming here bringing the truth, bringing it real every single day. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your energy. Make sure you swipe up, share the feed. Also, like it. Send your comments in. We'll get to those as well as we always do. Up today. There a little bit of heavy stuff today because there was a terrible event that we learned about last night coming out of Washington State with Tyler Hillinski, who would probably be their starting quarterback now. He committed suicide yesterday. He was supposed to be at practice and he didn't go to practice. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into the Steelers. Should they fire Mike Tomlin? Which I think is absolutely asinine, but I digress. New California. So if you guys have not heard about this, Google New California. There's a faction of people who apparently are speaking for other people around here that want to secede from California and start a new California, like West Virginia and Virginia. And I don't know where the hell these people have fell off the boat at, but sounds a little like gerrymandering to me. Clippers and Rockets, new update on their fight and what the hell was going on with that. So we're going to talk about that as well. And also, I have to amend my statement yesterday. I was talking about NBA players not wanting to fight. And yesterday, we got a dude who really wanted to fight. So I got to put Aaron Aflalo on the list of guys who really do want to fight. He threw a punch in a damn game. Threw a punch in a game at a Timberwolves player. Pushed him and then punched and threw a punch. He's really about that life. But the first thing that we're going to get to is Tyler Hillinski, the quarterback for Washington State who committed suicide yesterday. They did a welfare check on him after he didn't show up at practice. And people were concerned about him. They showed up and they found a rifle next to him. He committed suicide and he left a note. And that got me to, this is clearly like a mental health issue because nobody surrounding him suspected it. Nobody knew. Everybody thought everything was fine. And that's what the concerning part about this whole situation is. It's not just the fact that the young man killed himself. It's the fact that nobody knew and that he felt like he had no hope. Because at the point in time where you feel like you have no hope, this is what drives people to things like suicide and all that. And I wanted to talk about it more from a sports angle because athletes get depressed. Regardless of whether you're playing, it seems like you're at the height of your powers. Like this kid was getting ready to be starting for Washington State. So people say, they think that, like, why would he do this? Why would he do this? This is so selfish. This is that. Why would he do it? It makes no sense. Well, the reason why people do it, particularly athletes, and because they're not mentally fit as they are physically fit. And when I say that, I mean, like, yes, athletes can brave the elements. They can go out there and play when it's cold outside, when it's hot outside, when fight through pain, fight through all of that. So that's being mentally tough on some level, right? But you're not as mentally fit as you are physically fit. And us as athletes, so you train your body, you train your mind to be tough, you train all these things. But the things that don't get trained as much are your character, your coping skills, your conflict resolution, learning how to deal with stuff from childhood trauma. Those are the things that get ignored when it comes to athletes because you get kind of pushed through the system and stuff gets unchecked. Because everything looks like it's going well for you because you're excelling. Like when you're excelling in life, people ignore red flags about other things. And a lot of times your God-given ability takes you to places that you aren't mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready for. Let me say that again. A lot of times in life, your God-given ability can take you to places that you aren't mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready for. Like when you see a kid come out of high school, like LeBron James or Marvin Bagley right now, Lonzo Ball, whoever it is, they go to college for a year, they go straight to high school, or sorry, they go straight to the pros. Their talent is at one level, but they're still 18, 19 years old. Like they still don't have a complete set of a skill set in life. And while they may be good people who do the right things the majority of the time, that doesn't mean that you're as mentally fit as you are physically fit. Because we as, whether it's coaches, parents, all this stuff, we spend so much time on making sure, like, because I know me, I make sure that my kid's body is healthy. His body is healthy. We want them to get good grades, make sure they're healthy, right? But we don't spend enough time on their mental health, because their mental health is far more important than it is their physical health. Because when we get to wondering why people don't perform, why this, why that, or how people can't perform under adverse circumstances, you know, mom dying, Tom Brady's mom has cancer, you have, whatever happened, Isaiah Thomas, his sister gets killed, goes out there and plays phenomenally. That looks like mental toughness and mental stability, but in reality, it's just compartmentalization. Like you're able to take all the things that are going on around you in life and pack them up in a box and still perform your job. That's what it comes down to. And I'll tell you this, this is as honest as I can be, is I know for me, as a black man, I grew up with the feeling that, all right, so white people go to therapy because they can't handle their problems. I'm black, I'm tough, we know how to deal with our stuff. We don't need all of that foo-foo therapy stuff that doesn't work. And then I remember when my oldest son's mom got pregnant, I was playing in Jacksonville. And I remember one night before a game, I'm in a hotel, call the trainers up like, yo, I can't breathe. Like, I feel like I'm going to die. I don't know what the hell is going on. Mind you, I didn't sleep the entire night before the game. Trainer sitting up there with me in the in my hotel room, sitting there. They give me an inhaler, give me all kind of stuff. Didn't sleep that whole night. Then I go play in the game, play well. Next day, they send me through a battery of tests. You know, is your heart okay? Chest and everything, stress tests, EKGs, all of this. Everything comes back 100% clean, healthy as a horse. So I'm like, okay, well, you're telling me I'm healthy as a horse, but something's clearly going on. They said, George, it has to be in your mind. Like, there's no other place. Like, your body is physically fine. Like, we've run blood tests. We've done everything. So they sent me to go see a psychologist. And the psychologist is like, no, George, you're having panic attacks or anxiety attacks. I'm like, what? Like, how the hell... Like how the hell does this happen? No, I'm tough. I'm mentally strong. I can do this. Well, how in the hell is my mind letting this adrenaline go and I can't control it? So I say that's when I first started to believe and understand that mental health is real. And then when you fast forward to finish playing, there's that depression that every player goes through, regardless of whether you are a Hall of Famer or whether you are a dude who had a cup of coffee in any league. There's that depression that goes in, and it has to do with your one lost mentality. Because as a player, as a person, you either won the game or you lost the game. Like, there's no in between. You either won or you lost. And you translate that to when you finish your career. Prime example. Peyton Manning, regardless of who you think the greatest quarterback of all time is, he's in your top 3, top 5, right? One of the top 3 or 5 quarterbacks of all time. When he finished his career, I guarantee you, he looked back and felt like he lost on some level. He didn't win a national championship in college, didn't win the Heisman Trophy, lost 2 Super Bowls, lost a bunch of playoff games. Despite the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls and hella MVPs, People are going to make you feel like he feels like he lost on some level. And that loss is what drives your mental thinking. So you have to actually readjust your thinking to realize that, hold up, I did something special. I did something great. And that is going to drive me to be even better. Like that I can be successful. I can be proud of what happened to me and what I did. Those are the things that happen to athletes that you have to be honest about, and that you have to really, people have to focus on when you're young is your character, your development, your mental health, not just your mental strength, your mental health, conflict resolution, coping skills, life skills. All of these things have to be focused on as much as lifting weights, as much as running, as much as anything, because these are the things that take you and propel you in life. Moving on to, so prayers out to the Tyler Hillinski family, to the Hillinski family. Prayers out to the Washington State family, because this is bigger than sports. It's a mental health issue. And if anybody has any problems going on, if you are considering suicide or anything like that, please make sure you either A, tell somebody, or B, you call the suicide prevention hotline. And I'm going to give it out right now. The phone number is 800. Uh-oh. Just lost it. Okay, the phone number is 800-273-8255. If you know somebody, give it to them, 800-273-8255. Moving on to the next thing is the Steelers. The Steelers are talking about firing Mike Tomlin. Well, not the Steelers, but Steelers fans, Steelers influencers are talking to Art Rooney, who is the Steelers majority owner and controlling votes and all that stuff. Talking to him about firing Mike Tomlin. And I couldn't possibly fathom a more horrible idea. More horrible idea for the Steelers. Aside from making sure that Le'Veon Bell is back for 2018. Make sure whether he signs his contract extension or whether he signs his franchise tag. Those are the two things like that you have to get done. You have to make sure that you don't allow idiots to get Mike Tomlin fired. So you want to fire a coach. I understand you haven't won a Super Bowl in like 8 years. I understand it. But you've also won 48 games over the last 4 years. You've been to the playoffs damn near every single season that Mike Tomlin's been the coach. And if you're thinking about firing Mike Tomlin, you have clearly not read the unafraid rules of firing a coach. Because there are 2 rules, 2 questions that you need to answer before you even consider firing your coach. After every season, every coach needs to be reevaluated in the situation. Whether you just won the Super Bowl or you just went defeated and lost all your games. Your coaching situation needs to be reevaluated every single year. I'm a firm believer in that. But you assess it by asking 2 questions. The first question that you ask is there a guy out there that I can 100% get who's better than the coach I have now? Like guaranteed to be better. Let's take Mike Tomlin, for example. Who would you replace Mike Tomlin with? Who do you believe is a better coach, a better proven coach than Mike Tomlin? Because he keeps a bunch of knuckleheads together, keeps them out of trouble, keeps them doing this, keeps them following the rules, all of this stuff. Might he not be the best game manager in the whole world? Okay, I can at times agree with that. But this is a man who keeps it all together. And that's hard to do. So who would you fire Mike Tomlin for? Bill Belichick? Of course. Everybody would fire their coach for Bill Belichick. Even the Rams who love Sean McVay, they'd be like, Sean, peace out. Sorry, buddy. I mean, who else would you fire him for? In the NFL right now, probably not anybody who's guaranteed to be better. Because there's not very much better than Mike Tomlin. There isn't. So you want to fire Mike Tomlin, to get a maybe coach back. Get a maybe coach back? How idiotic is that? So the Steelers franchise, who's been built on stability and longevity, you look at Chuck Noll was their coach. You look at Coward, coach forever. Let him go through bad seasons, all that. But now you want to fire Mike Tomlin? That is idiotic. The Steelers brand is built on consistency, winning, regardless of whether you don't win the championship or not. They are supposed to field a great team, a tough team, and a competitive team. So firing Mike Tomlin, complete lunacy, complete idiocy. There couldn't be anything more foolish than talking about firing Mike Tomlin. But I do agree that sometimes you can finger point at Mike Tomlin a little bit. You can finger point at him for some of his game management. You can finger point at him for that fourth. Well, no, actually, you can finger point him for that onside kick. You can't finger point him for that 4th and 1 that they decided to throw the ball instead of run the ball or call a quarterback sneak. You know whose blame that is? That is Todd Haley, his offensive coordinator. And then I told you guys that finger pointing was going to start after the Steelers game. They're already been pointing the finger at Mike Tomlin. Now fingers being pointed at Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator. And his fingers were being pointed at by Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger, people asked him, why didn't you just call the quarterback sneak when you saw it was there? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? His answer was, I'm not allowed to. He's not allowed to change a play that the coaches call. And I'm like, is there anything more ass backwards in sports, well, in football, than the idea that that Ben Roethlisberger is not allowed to change a play and call his own number? Excuse me? Like, there's nothing more ass backwards in in football than that. Nothing at all. This dude's a Super Bowl champion 2 times, a Hall of Famer. Most guys can check out if they just see a horrendous situation coming. I mean, even probably Jared Goff can check out. But Ben Roethlisberger, nah, I hate it. That means that you have a rift between your offensive coordinator and your quarterback, and somebody's got to go. And guess what? You don't let go of a Hall of Fame and an elite quarterback. You can find a new offensive coordinator and that they can get along with and work amicably with. Because that is absolutely nonsense. Fire Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger can't call his own number? Man, please. That's absolute lunacy and craziness. Another thing that's lunacy and craziness going on is, so we talked about that punch that Aaron Aflalu, who went to UCLA, threw yesterday at Nemanja for the Timberwolves. So we talked about that earlier. And Aaron Aflalu is one of those guys who's about that life, apparently. A night after we didn't think the NBA players really wanted to fight, Aaron Aflalu said, hold my beer, man. Hold my beer. I got these hands for this dude. And so to go back to the previous night, the Clippers and the Rockets went into the Clippers locker room after. They tried to punk the light-skinned dudes in the game. They tried to punk Austin Rivers, who's sitting on the bench. They tried to punk Blake Griffin in the game. Blake Griffin then wasn't having it. And so you know what the Rockets did? They got pissed off. They got mad. They were like, you know what? Oh, really? Y'all ain't scared of us no more? Y'all ain't going to be punked by us no more? All right. Now we got to fight. Let's see what these hands talking about. And here's what is being said, the latest from Adrian Wojnarowski. Oh my God, whatever. You know what I'm saying. He came out and said that now the Clippers players are saying that Chris Paul was an aggressor, which they said initially. And the Rockets are saying that Chris Paul was not an aggressor. Him and James Harden were trying to calm Ariza down. That's why they were in there. What? I mean, like so you follow the dude in there, Ariza in there, allegedly, because you're trying to calm him down and keep him from fighting. Man, stop. Nobody believes you. As I say, you need more people because nobody's going to believe that. And I don't even understand on another level. The Clippers gave Chris Paul a video tribute. He was only with the Clippers for 6 years. That's why the fans booed him. If you are going to give somebody a video tribute, they should not be booed by the crowd. If the crowd is going to boo them, guess what? They do not deserve a video tribute. He was only with the Clippers for 6 years. Didn't win a championship. Didn't get out of the second round. He doesn't deserve a statue. Doesn't deserve a medal. He just deserves to show up, take his booze, and play the game. I don't understand that. We want to give a video tribute for mediocre achievement or average achievement. Yes, Chris Paul and they had their 3 guys, Blake Griffin, DeAndre, and Chris Paul. But what did they do anything special enough to deserve to deserve a video tribute? The answer is no. No, they didn't. No, Chris Paul did not do anything good enough to deserve a video tribute for the Clippers. That's why the fans booed him. I mean, like, damn, like we just give out participation trophies for everything. Hey, let me get a video tribute when I go back to Jacksonville. Let me get a video tribute when I go when I go to my kid's school. Like, come on, man. Stop it. More craziness going on. So, New California. If you do not know what New California is, this snuck up on me yesterday. New California is a bunch of people who are trying to secede from the state of California because they said it's a mono-controlled state and they can no longer be governed by the regular state. And I mean, when you look at the map of this is absolute craziness. So they want to put like San Francisco, LA, Salinas, California, Sacramento, all in, like, cram them in a corner. And then you take literally like 85% of the state and make it New California surrounding this California. But you get to keep the water, though. But old California gets to keep the water in San Francisco, Los Angeles, blah, blah, blah. And this looks like, so they said that the 58 counties have become ungovernable. What? That there's a decline in basic essential services, including education, law enforcement, infrastructure, and healthcare. So they're talking about, it makes no sense to me. So, and this is clear, like, this is not the first time that somebody's tried this. Because a venture capitalist named Tim Draper tried to do it in 2014 to split it into 6 parts, calling it the state of Silicon Valley. Excuse you? Like, okay, so they're trying to model this. Okay, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. So they're trying to model this after what West Virginia did. So West Virginia during the Civil War broke from Virginia, which was a southern state, and they joined the Union. I know it sounds crazy when you see who lives in West Virginia that they actually joined the Union, but whatever. So they joined the Union. And this was what, like 1861, something like that. Because there were only 2 states that formed during the Civil War. West Virginia and Nevada. And guess what? Truth be told, nobody is going to let California split. California is a blue state. It is. Like, it's a single controlled state. But it's no different than Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, any of those states. And to me, to be honest, this looks like gerrymandering. This looks like gerrymandering because they brought up political parties. They brought up a mono-controlled state. They're just like other states that are red states, blue states. I'm not talking about swing states. I'm talking about states that are firmly entrenched. Like, you know, if you are trying to vote for a Republican president in California, you might as well save your vote, buddy. Save your time. It's like if you're voting for a Democratic president in Alabama, save your time, buddy. Like, you literally have to have like a crazy situation that happened with the election in Alabama for them to even vote in a Democrat. But I've said it many, many times. Like, I'm a person, I do not believe in voting along party lines. I think it's absolutely asinine. I think it's stupid. Because for me because all Republican candidates are not good. All Democratic candidates are not good. I'm voting for people who match what I want, who match the things that matter to me fiscally, and the things that matter with the economy, and the things that matter to me socially, that matter to me in my backyard. Those are the people I vote for. So sometimes I vote Democrat, sometimes I vote Republican, sometimes I vote independent. And because I'm an independent thinker, you should be too. And I'll tell you this, I am pissed off with the government right now on a whole nother side note, because no matter who's in power, the goal is to fight the other party tooth and nail. And this is what this new California thing is. This is a fight over votes. That's what it's about. It's not about not being able to govern the states, not any of that. That's absolute horse crap. And I find it very interesting though, because it seems like that this is on the heels of the ban that California put out. What is it? Assembly Bill 1887 that said the state's legislature, it determined that California must take action to avoid the supporting or financing discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender people. And that means that state universities and state funded places are not able to have state sponsored travel to North Carolina, Mississippi, Tennessee, or Kansas. I think that that's absolutely, I find it interesting that like the things that we choose to care about. So you don't want to travel to those places, but then you let UCLA travel to China. I mean, like, let's at least have some consistency. If that's the cause that you want to take up, if that's the cause that you are in for, whether it's abortion, whether it's LGBTQ rights, whether it's black people's right, whatever it is, let's at least have some consistency in that. Because it's the inconsistency that bothers people. Because if you stand on one, I mean, it's just like if somebody claims who puts out all this anti-LGBTQ legislation, but then you go and have a gay affair. Like, come on, bro. Like you got to have some consistency in this. That's where people start getting confused and they start letting, nah, bro. I'm not down with that. But this new California thing, when you look at the map, let's think about the states. Because I don't know who drew the map, but they want to give old California, Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, high gay populations. I'm just saying. And then they want to keep everything from the top, like Eureka, Redding, Chico, San Jose, Fresno, Riverside, San Diego. All would belong to New California. How the hell do you draw this map? Like, they didn't ask people, because I guarantee you that the San Diegans would want to keep whatever the hell is going on in regular California. They're going to New California, because that sounds like, I mean, it literally sounds like, when you look at the locations, you got deserts, you got mountains, nobody really there. This comes from a state that wants to, from some people that have some tax issues and also want to take away votes. Because remember, everything is about votes. Everything's about power. California has 55 electoral votes, and they want half of them. They want half of them. Imagine if you could turn California into an extra state. One of them red, one of them blue, with different electoral votes. There's 53 House of Representatives, and New Cali would have 25 to 27 of them. This is absolute craziness. People would fight this tooth and nail. I am one that I don't like California's financial situation right now. It had been mismanaged for a long time. But guess what? Fix the system. Blow it up, fix the system. But start. I mean, The main reason, I know that people are going to argue this or whatever. The main reason why there cannot be a new state throws everything off. There's already 50 states. You can line the stars up correctly on the flag. You can, everything your kids have been taught, 50 states, learn them. You got to relearn all this stuff, re-educate, rewrite books. Nope, costs too much money. Nope, New California, got to fix your problem. I mean, just the logical potential changes that could come from this. Nope, not happening. Not happening at all. Last thing today, though. I want to give a big screw you to everybody. Somebody said there's actually 52 states, Puerto Rico and Hawaii. Ma'am, Hawaii is counted in the 50. So Puerto Rico is not actually a state, but whatever. It's a territory, which is different. I want to give a big screw you to, actually, hold up. Let me resend this out the way, make sure the maximum amount of people see this and hear this, because I have a big screw you today. Oh, Kenny, what's up, man? The last thing we got up today is, so I have a big screw you. I have a big screw you to all the people who allowed Larry Nassar, who was the USA team doctor, USA gymnastics team doctor, to allow him to keep abusing people. Big screw you to the people in USA gymnastics. Big screw you to the people at Michigan State. Your ass deserves to be in jail with Larry Nassar. You let him abuse hundreds or thousands of girls, and you didn't do anything about it. Your ass needs to be in jail too, because silence and cover-ups are complicity. You were part of the problem. You allowed this to happen. You basically did this to these women, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And it's crazy because it's not just little known people. We got Allie Raceman, Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, Simone Biles, all saying that they were also abused by this man. And you let it happen. You're a scumbag. You are I mean, like, there is no, like, you can't blame it on fear. You're a grown ass adult. You paid some of these women to stay quiet. That is unacceptable. You need to have your ass in jail too. Because at the point where you allow people to be abused, where you allow this man to take advantage of these young girls, you, my friend, are a crook. You, my friend, are a criminal too. Actually, I shouldn't say my friend, because you're not my friend, because you're an asshole. You need to have yourself in jail too. Unafraid Show, Reister Wrong, George Reister here. Peace out. Catch you guys tomorrow.